I am recording.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, hello there. Welcome to another episode of What's New and Notable at Not So Hulla Farm. We're also going to let you know about a few upcoming sales that we're going to be featuring this week. So, I'm going to start with Virginsbauer Clematis. These are in a biopot from last year, actually, so they're, as you can see, they're pretty well established. They are going to be on sale for half price, and I'm just going to show you what they look like. Oh, are you still? Just going to show you what they look like when they're mature. So that dry stuff up there, that's last year's growth. So that's they get trimmed in the spring, but that's how tall they're going to get. White flowers. They get really interesting seed heads in the fall. They are happy in either sun. They get full sun here, west sun, or they grow in part sun as well. So they're a very adaptable plant. Thought we would show you these Palebeard Tongue that are currently blooming because we think they look pretty spectacular. They have an abundance of blooms, pretty adaptable as well. Can take dry conditions, bloom early in the season, so that's great for pollinators. They are in our 1 quart size. So next up, Prairie Dropseed. They always get a lot of attention from people who see them at the farm. They are, a finely textured grass. They can handle dry conditions. They look great mixed in with other perennials, and they help achieve that natural look. Also in a quart size. Sporobulus heterolepsis. Forget that. So these are Swamp Aster. They're going to be on sale this week, 50% off. They do fine in medium moisture conditions, but they really do excel with extra moisture. They bloom in the fall, and it's a different shade of purple than New England Aster. These are Landsleep Coreopsis in a 1 quart size. They're just getting ready to bloom, actually. They're a very nice shade of yellow. The flowers are kind of reminiscent of cosmos. They bloom for quite some time, actually, and they're a pretty easygoing plant, I would say. They can tolerate a number of conditions. So these are Baptisia, are in a 1 gallon pot. They're a member of the pea family, actually, and we're going to show you one in the garden that's mature, so you can see the size it gets ultimately, and the very interesting flowers that they have. False blue indigo is the common name, but Baptisia, really showy pea-like flowers, and this, it's actually getting less sun now than it used to. So I would say their preference is more on the sunny side, but they can take a little less sun as well. Just thought we would show you the Prairie Smoke as they look like now. When we filmed the last time, they were more like this, and this is typically what the bumblebees visit. But as you can see, they open up, and they're just so interesting, and they provide a very unusual texture to the garden. And of course, there's actually these ones that are starting to go to seed already. But they're still super important to have as an early blooming source in your garden. So we're going to talk a little bit about milkweeds today. We have 4 kinds here at the farm. These are swamp milkweed. They're in a quart-sized pot. And these are common. So the difference between these two, swamp, I would say, are a little bit more well-behaved in a smaller garden, meaning that they don't tend to travel as much. A darker pink than the common. They like it, they do fine actually in average conditions, but their preference would be a little bit more moist. Common milkweeds can take it, can take more dry conditions. Even though the swamp at the moment are quite a bit taller than the common, they actually work out to be about the same height once they're mature. In our experience, monarchs head over to common milkweeds first. Then I would say tuberosa, so butterfly weed, we'll show you those in a sec. Then I would say swamp, and then whorled, and I'll show you the whorled as well. So these are butterfly weed, so Asclepias tuberosa, quite different from swamp and common in that they are orange, and they do remain a bit, quite a bit smaller, actually shorter in stature than those other two. This is a whorled milkweed, quite smaller in stature than the other milkweeds. They're more delicate. They have a white flower, which is pretty interesting. And monarchs do visit these guys as well. I have seen them, but because their leaves are so small, like a big fat caterpillar on there, you know, the leaf tends to really droop. So, but I have seen them on as well. But they're totally different texture than the other milkweeds. This is Monarda fistulosa, a cousin to bee balm. This one has the pink pincushion-like flowers. This is in a 1 gallon pot. It's going to be half price this week. Pretty easygoing plant, good for either sun or part sun. We thought we would profile this plant this week. It's a Serviceberry. It's in the Serviceberry family, Amelanchier stolonifera. And what's interesting about it is that it stays pretty small, pretty short, tops 5 feet. Quite often we have people looking for a native shrub that stays small, which is not that easy to find actually. But these guys, we just got them in. They do fit the bill. They do well in either sun, part sun, and as you can see, they're pretty prolific in the berry producing department. There's quite a few berries forming on them. And these are in a 1 gallon container. We have 4 types of roses at the farm currently. This one in bloom is a prickly rose. We also have swamp, smooth, and pasture. And for this week, they're going to be 40% off. For 1 week only. Last but not least, these are Basswood, a native tilia. Quite obvious, they have beautiful big leaves. Bees love them because they do flower. Which have a lovely scent actually. They have a pretty good, decent rate of growth, and they get to be quite a large shade tree, probably 60 feet or so. This is our 7 gallon pot size, and we actually have them a bit bigger than this. So there you have it from myself and Ollie, wishing you a great week. Thanks for watching.